All right, hello, here we are. We are from Tulsa Technology Center, and we are here to show you how to use Microsoft Teams for our virtual computer classes. This shouldn't take long, it's painless. What I'd like to show you right now is what probably most of you will see in your email. So I'm going to share one of my screens with you so you can see what that will look like. Right over here. So here I have just a test email up. I've got the invitation to the meeting here, and right here, this is the link that you want to look for in your email where it says join Microsoft Teams meeting. Now, before you get to this point, you have already downloaded Microsoft Teams. It's free. You can go to the Microsoft website and download Teams. Just Google download Microsoft Teams and it'll take you right to it. So then when you come to this, you just click join Microsoft Teams meeting, and it's as easy as that. So let me stop sharing my screen here. And I'm going to show you what your navigation bar is going to look like once you get into Microsoft Teams. So once again, let me share a screen with you. I'm going to share my Microsoft Teams screen. And we also have, by the way, sorry I didn't introduce myself. My name is Tammy Smith. I'm one of the instructors at Tulsa Tech. You'll see on the screen me listed as Tamala Smith because we have another Tammy Smith. And she's the project coordinator. You want to say hi, Tammy? Okay, and we have Sarah Deal, which is one of our other instructors. There's Sarah there. Okay. So over on the left, you will have a navigation bar, and we probably won't use a lot of these for the virtual computer classes, but they're there if you need to chat with someone or go to the different teams. You have been added to a team in Microsoft Teams, and it will probably be named something like Microsoft Excel 2016 level 1, something like that. And then you will have a channel in that team. The general channel is probably what you're going to be seeing. Once you click that, you'll see some links up here, and more than likely the place that you'll probably need to go here if you need to download any files is the files link. So then you'll see any files that have been uploaded by the instructor to the channel. If you need to download a file, this is so very important. You don't want to click the file. You want to click the circle to the left of the file, and that will select the file but not open it. You can select that and then click download. Shouldn't take too long, and it will go into your downloads folder just like any other download that you have on your computer. So there you go. Now, more than likely, when you were invited to this Teams meeting for the class, you were also emailed a zipped folder that include the files for the class. So we will hope that you will go ahead and unzip those somewhere quickly and easily, maybe to your desktop, somewhere that you can get to those files that we'll be using in the class. All right. The calendar, you may or may not see a calendar depending on your type of Teams account. But over on the left, I'm going to click calendar, which you see, and if you have a corporate Teams account and you have accepted this invitation to this meeting, you'll see that on your Teams calendar. If you don't have a calendar, no worries. When you click the join Microsoft Teams meeting from your email, it'll just bring you right into Teams. But this is where you can join the meeting. You can just click the join button right there. Let's see. I think that's about all we need to look at for the navigation bar. Any thoughts on that, Sarah or Tammy?
Mhm.
Good. Okay. All
Good.
right. All right. I'm going to stop sharing. And then another thing I would like to share with you is the floating toolbar that you'll be seeing. Now, mine should look very much like yours. Let me share my Teams window again. There we go. So this is the floating toolbar that I'm talking about. Here is where you can turn your camera on and off. I'll turn mine off and you'll see what that looks like. You'll probably see my initials in a bubble. I call it a bubble or an icon. Turn that back on. Here's where you can mute your microphone. This is important also if you have not had the pleasure of joining virtual meetings yet in this time. When you're in a meeting, you want to have your microphone muted unless you need to speak. A couple different reasons for that. One is if you're not using a headset like this, which if you have one, great. If you don't, that's okay too. But if you're not using a headset and you're using the speakers from your microphone, or excuse me, from your computer, you're going to get feedback. And everybody's going to hear things coming out of your speaker. It's going to go into your microphone, and it's just kind of hard to hear and hard for the person who's talking because they're hearing their voice just a couple seconds delay. So the gist is mute yourself. And when you need to speak, just click the mute button. It will unmute you. And speaking of that, if you're in the class and you need help from the instructor or from another person, maybe someone else is helping you with something, please unmute yourself and just say, excuse me, whoa, can you say that again? Hey, I need help. That's how we're conducting these classes. We are expecting you to interrupt us when you need help. There is a chat, and we'll talk about that in a minute. There is an opportunity to raise your hand also. We'll talk about that too. But the instructor, because they are sharing their screen with you, their Access screen or Excel or whatever program you're learning, they're not going to see the chat. They're not going to see when you raise your hand. So please don't hesitate at all. Unmute yourself and say, whoa, I need help real quick, and then we'll help you. This button here will allow you to stop sharing your screen if you are sharing your screen. I'm going to show you, hopefully, well, it's kind of difficult when you're in Microsoft Teams and when you want to share a screen. So I can't show you what it looks like because I'm already sharing my screen. But when you do click that button, it's going to show you a bar at the bottom of all the programs that you have running at the moment. One of those is going to be your desktop. Can you guys see me? Can you see my whiteboard back here? Okay, so I've got a few things that you may see when you are sharing your screen desktop. So that is going to share everything that's going on your desktop. If you have email, if you have a screensaver of whatever it might be, if you have things that might pop up and notifications here and there, whatever you have there is going to be shared with the whole class. So be aware of that. Another option that you'll have is a window. So that's what I'm sharing right now. I'm sharing my Teams window. It's the actual program that I have running. So you will more than likely have maybe an Excel file open, a Microsoft project file, whatever the class is, and you can share just that window. Another option that you may or may not see is screen one and screen two. I happen to have two monitors. I have my laptop that has the camera, and then I have another monitor over here. I know a lot of corporate situations you do have two monitors. So if that's the case, you can have your application window on one monitor, you can have your Teams window on another monitor, and you'll want to share that screen one or screen two. So those are basically the options that you'll see. And should be fine. Once you open that up or once you share your screen, then the instructor will have the opportunity to request control of your screen. So if you need help, if you're like, I can't find that on my toolbar, you can share your screen, then the instructor can request control. And I do have a screenshot of that. Let me share that with you real quick. I can do another quick share. There we go. So this is what that's going to look like. If you're a student and you're sharing your screen with the instructor or the class, actually, this is what the instructor will see. They'll see request control. And when they click that, you say, yes, they can have control of my screen. And then the instructor will have actual control of your screen. They'll be able to click here, click there, and you can guide them, and you can actually click. Uh, it's kind of cool. You have little mouse icons with people's initials. It's like whose mouse is this and whose mouse is that. But that is great because it allows us to help you just like we were in a classroom, and we can help you right there. So that's an option too. All right, let me get back to my Teams window so you can see what I'm talking about. Here we go. So there's some more actions. More than likely, you will not have to go into this. Now, one thing, it's kind of fun, show background effects. Let me just go ahead and show you how to do that because everybody wants to see how that works. I'm going to select and choose one of those backgrounds and I'm going to apply it. So there I am at the beach. That would be lovely. There are lots of options here. You can even upload your own pictures. So um, that's an option too if you wanted that. So I'm going to go back up and say no there. There we go. And I'm just going to close that little window. So background effects are kind of fun. Uh, Live captions. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on and see how it works. It does a pretty good job if you speak slowly enough and distinctly enough, the live captions are on. So I know sometimes in some situations you may not have earphones, a headset, and you just can't have all this coming out of your computer. You could turn on those live captions. The only thing is you can't really go back and listen to something again, but it does a really pretty good job of that. So I'm going to turn that back off. And you may or may not see the recording options. I have that because I'm the owner of the meeting and I have rights to do that, but you may or may not see that. You can end the meeting. That's for me as the meeting owner. I can end the meeting altogether. If you want to leave the meeting, you'll just use this red hang up button here. This is where you can raise your hand, and I'm going to turn on the participants pane over here on the right so you see what that looks like. Let me get this out of my way. Here we go. So we see our participants on the right side of my screen, and raise hand allows me to raise my hand. So you see that little yellow hand pop up. That is a lot of the times how you get someone's attention. It's like I need to say something. But once again, if we're sharing our Excel window with you, we see the Excel window as a whole and we're not going to see this participants pane. You can hide the participants there and then chat. Here's your chat window. So you can chat. If you wanted to chat with other students, you can absolutely do that. All right. So that is basically your floating toolbar. Let me see. Whenever you're in a meeting and you have many people, like in a one of these virtual computer classes, we're going to have several people. The last person who was speaking is going to show in the window, or the last people that were speaking are going to show in the window. So Sarah, would you pop in and say hi, just so they can see how the window changes a little bit?
Hello.
Okay, so there it is. Now we only have 3 people here. Um, Tammy, do you want to pop in and say hi?
Hello, everyone.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So just know that you'll see the last few people, depending on how many people are in the class. I believe it's 9. It's like the Brady Bunch, like 3 by 3 is the latest layout of your participants in a Teams meeting. So you should be able to see the last 9 people and the last several that speak pop up. All right, so I think I'll stop sharing my screen now. And I would like, Sarah, if you don't mind, if you have maybe an Excel window open, do you have an Excel file open or another document open?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so if you'll share your screen, we'll kind of see what that looks like. There we go. All right, so she maximized her screen. Now, so she needs help with something. I'm going to request control as the instructor. So I'm going to click request control, and then Sarah will give me control. Sarah, what's the button that you saw on your screen?
Allow.
Allow. Good deal. So here I am. You can see my mouse. It says TS, SD for Sarah Deal. And I can say, okay, if you wanted to turn on your filters, you go to the data tab on your ribbon, and right here is your filter button. So I'm doing this for Sarah. I'm helping her out. And once I've helped her and she's good to go, then she can stop control. Sarah, what does that button say?
I don't see the bar anymore. Sorry, Tammy.
Okay. If you, oh, I have it. Okay. Mine popped up. So I can choose stop control. Sorry about that. So, wow, it's not letting me get there fast enough. This is different. Can you stop control, or can you stop letting me control? Do you see that? If you hover your
I
mouse up the top of the window.
don't even see my mouse anymore after whatever you clicked. There it is. No, that's your mouse.
Okay. So if you hover your mouse at the very top of the window.
Wait a minute. Let me cancel this.
Okay.
Okay. Very top of the window. No, there it is.
There it
Cancel
is.
control.
Yeah. So I don't know if you could see on the shared screen there, a gray bar popped up, and she saw some different options, but we can help you when we get into class in that way. All right. Sarah, you can stop sharing your screen. Great. Do we have anything else that we think would be helpful to share with our students? Sarah? Nope.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, Tammy?
The only thing I would mention is if they have some kind of issue, if you want to suggest that they go out of the meeting and come back in, or whatever your thoughts are.
Great. Yes. If it doesn't seem like something's working right, it's like this does not seem like it's where I should be, end the meeting, click the little hang up, and then go back to your email and join the meeting again and come in. And this is a new environment, new world for all of us. So we'll have lots of patience, no worries. If people are fumbling, we're fumbling too, as you can see. So, um, but it's great that we are going to be able to get together and do this virtual training for you. All right, so that's all we have.